Happy Tuesday all. Welcome to this professional S plus rank speed run guide walkthrough of Resident Evil 4 Remake using primarily the hand cannon to kill most enemies. There's a little bit of sniper rifle usage and a couple rocket launchers used later in the run, but for the most part it's pretty much all the hand cannon, and there's no other bonus items used, like the chicken hat or Ashley armor, the Chicago sweep or whatever. It's just the hand cannon and whatever other regular items you would find throughout the game. The criteria for earning an S plus rank on professional is to complete the game in under 5.5 hours using 15 or fewer manual saves, and you have to play on New Game. It can't be New Game Plus. And you can get the hand cannon in Mercenaries. You can unlock it by completing the first 3 stages of the Mercenaries with any characters. You just have to complete them one time with any character with an S rank. So that's 200,000 points. It's very easy. The other way to do it is to complete professional using no bonus items, which is not very easy at all. The point of this run really is that you'll find a lot of playthroughs, professional speed runs, whatever, that'll be faster than this, certainly. But most of them are going to be on PC. This is recorded on a PS5 Pro, using the resolution mode and keeping ray tracing on to try to make the video as high quality as possible. But you'll find most of these kind of runs come from PC, but they're not going to use bonus items, and that's going to be very difficult for most players to replicate that. Because there are going to be a lot of tricks that PC players use, and they're going to be using mouse and keyboard, which not everyone plays with mouse and keyboard. And they might use some kind of glitches or something that might be difficult for less experienced players to replicate or perform. There's no real tricks to this run. It's all pretty much there for you to look at, and you don't have to do anything really special. I don't use any glitches. I do use a couple of skips, if you will, to like get through some areas faster, where you can use heavy grenades on the wall in Chapter 14 to break through the wall when Ashley is operating the crane. Things like that are just very simple and like known skips that you can do. I'll explain a little bit more about this run in a minute. I just want to make sure that I talk about what I'm doing here. So here in the opening village sequence, I believe you need to kill 15 enemies. So I stealth kill the first 2, and then I try to line up these next few enemies so that I can kill more than one at a time with the hand cannon. So I can penetrate one enemy and kill the next one as well. And I think I killed maybe 7 or 8 there. I'm not exactly sure, but I was just trying to kill as many as I can with the 5 initial hand cannon rounds that I have, and then I go into the house here to trigger the cutscene with the Dr. Salvador chainsaw enemy. Go up here, grab the shotgun and a grenade. And I'm just trying to kill the 15 enemies and get through this section as quickly as possible. You can also, this is a lot of people call this the hardest part of the game. I don't really agree with that, but it can be tough to kill these enemies on professional and get out of here. So if you're having trouble with that and you're dying a lot trying to do it, you can notice I threw the hand grenade there to kill the last several enemies and get this over. But if you're having trouble with it, you can just kind of run around the area, climb up and down the ladders, avoid enemies, and eventually it'll just end. You don't even have to kill anything. I think it takes about around 4 minutes for the bell to ring and it to end. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm using the hand cannon pretty much exclusively, and I'm going to fully upgrade it at the beginning of Chapter 2 at the first merchant. I'm using the golden tickets, the exclusive weapon upgrade tickets. Here I throw a hand grenade through the window to break this lock and go through this door and grab the wooden cog. So those tickets, you can buy them from, in this case, the PlayStation Store or whatever platform you're using, and you can buy up to 23 of them. And you know the pricing is dependent on whether or not they're on sale or whatever. But I think it's usually for one ticket, it's $2.99. But then there's like bundle pricing. You buy 3 of them or 5 of them, and it, you know, if you buy them all, it's a total of 23 tickets. Grab the yellow herb there. I try to grab most of the yellow herbs in the run to increase my health bar. Now, if you don't want to spend real money to buy those tickets, there's a glitch you can use with first aid sprays and like the storage and inventory system. You can use. It's a pretty well-known glitch. You can find a video for it that will allow you to get infinite pesetas in the game, infinite money, and you know that will work obviously just as well as using the tickets. But what I'm doing is using those tickets, and I'm also not collecting any treasures throughout the game, or at least I'm trying not to, because I just kind of want to show you like what you can do with just the hand cannon and the tickets. You don't really need to worry about collecting a lot of things. I do pick up certain resources, like I'm trying to I like to pick up rifle ammo because I use the rifle later on. I like to pick up gunpowder and large resources because I want to be able to craft flash grenades and heavy grenades. You don't need them, but it's helpful to use around 4 or 5 heavy grenades later in the game, and there are certain areas where it's good to have some flash grenades on you. So here we are at the end of Chapter 1. You know, I used a shotgun because I'm out of hand cannon ammo, but I used a shotgun to knock enemies back. And let's see. Again, you know, you're going to find most of these runs, they're either going to use no bonus items, or they're going to use a lot of bonus items. Like they'll use like the hand cannon with Ashley armor and with the chicken hat. But I think this run is somewhat unique in that it doesn't use any of the other bonus items. It just uses the hand cannon, which is probably the way you can unlock it in Mercenaries is probably the easiest way to unlock like a super weapon in all of Resident Evil. So this is what most people are going to be using because it's very simple to get. So this shows you this run shows you how to get the professional S+ rank without doing much else than unlocking the hand cannon, and then obviously running the game on professional. And just for the record, the professional S+ rank unlocks the cat ears, which gives you infinite ammo for all weapons, except the infinite rocket launcher, which has to be purchased separately. And it unlocks, you know, basically every bonus item. The chicken hat, the Ashley armor, the Chicago sweeper. Getting the professional S+ rank, professional S+ rank will unlock everything, and it'll unlock all the difficulty related trophies and the rank trophies and things of that nature. Alright, I think that's probably about all the details really that I need to give you about the run for now, so I'll try to just kind of commentate what I'm doing from here. I think for the most part, you know, there's nothing very complicated about anything I'm doing. It's all kind of on the screen for you, and you're you're watching this, there's a good chance you've already beaten the game anyway, because you want to get a professional S+ rank. Now you've had to beat the game to unlock professional. So you pretty much know what's going on. But I'll try to explain anything that I think, you know, looks like it might be complicated, or just kind of tell you what I'm doing. Like I'm going to the first merchant here and just selling the things I don't need. I like my items in storage. You know, like the primal knife and Chicago sweep or whatever. I'm just selling everything so that I get it out of the way. I don't necessarily use the money from it, but I just don't want to see it when I go sell things later. And I sold 22 of those golden tickets, and then I used one right here on the hand cannon, because if you use an upgrade ticket on the hand cannon, it will fully upgrade like two of the fire rate and I don't know, the capacity or something. It'll already fully upgrade both of those for you, and then you only have to upgrade 2 other categories yourself. And I picked up rifle ammo there. But yeah, I think I bought the larger attaché case, maybe a first aid spray when I was at the merchant there. But yeah, now the hand cannon's fully upgraded. I've sold all of the golden tickets, and I have like, I don't know, 1.8 million pesetas or something like that, or maybe that's what I had before I upgraded the hand cannon, something like that. But it's enough to get me through the whole game, to buy the rifle later and the rocket launchers I need. And now I'm just going through, playing the game here, and I would recommend that at that merchant, if you're not very experienced or not very comfortable with this area, it's known as the Dynamite Valley. It's a valley with a lot of enemies throwing dynamite at you, and you could die very easily if you're near the dynamite when it explodes. If you're not overly comfortable with this section, that it might be a good time to save. Make you use your first save at that first merchant. I don't make my first save until the end of chapter 3. In case I didn't mention it, I don't think I mentioned it, but I will. This run takes, the final time is 2 hours, 15 minutes, and 10 seconds, and it uses 10 manual saves. Now you can use, I did mention that you can use 15 manual saves on professional and still get the S+ rank. So I tried to do this in a way that gives you a lot of time, a lot of extra time to do what you want to do, you know, because it's 2 hours and 15 minutes and you have 5.5 hours, so you have plenty of extra time to do the things you want, and you have 5 extra saves to use where you please. And I'm not saying that you have to save in all the locations that I save. Like I said, I recommend, if you're not familiar, if you're not comfortable with that Dynamite Valley, save before it, but I didn't here. But you know, you can try to use my saves to help you figure out where you should save, but then you should use those 5 extra saves in locations that you think are going to be very difficult for you, like right before those sections, or right after that maybe. Like if you're struggling on one, then you finally get through it, that would be a good time to save. So again, there's not like a whole lot of things to explain as I'm playing, because it's just kind of, you run from point A to point B, you shoot this enemy or that enemy that's in your way, or you run past them in this case. I'll try to explain any puzzles if I can. Some of them are, most of the puzzles in this game are so easy. It's kind of hard to explain how to do them. This one, it's just real simple. They'll go to the leaf on the left, the fat pig in the middle, and the baby on the right. Grab the crystal marble. Kill this enemy. There is a small key in that room, by the way, for the locked drawers with the treasures in them if you want it. Like I said, I'm not collecting any treasures. On this puzzle, I hold R1 and I hold the left stick down and to the right. Hold R1, hold the left stick down and to the right, and that gets the crystal marble turning in the correct direction. And and then from there it's just easy to feel where it needs to go. So that was the end of chapter 2, and here we are in chapter 3. Grab this red herb here. I interacted with the typewriter, but I didn't save there. That was unintentional. Now, this dog here to the right that is caught in the trap, I do very much advocate for saving it every time, and I always have. But I didn't here because, you know, this is a speed run, trying to be more efficient and get it done as quickly as I can. The faster it is, the more time you have to do what you want, but you'll have plenty of time, so I'd say save that dog. And if it was real life, I would save the dog every time, but it's a video game, so it's okay. So let that tower collapse. There was a little trap there that you don't want to run into. So there are dogs that come after you there, and they will attack you if you're caught in the trap. Yeah, so climb up the other side of the well. And there's a green herb. And you can use the key here that you found in the village chief's house moments ago at the end of chapter 2. I killed this viper because there are a few merchant requests I want to do, the quick ones that I just to be able to purchase the high-powered scope for the Stingray sniper rifle, and I think also I buy a green herb and maybe some gunpowder with the spinels from the merchant request, but I try to only do like the real quick and easy merchant requests that don't take a lot of extra time. Like this one here is the easiest one in the game. You just shoot those 2 things and that's it. Here's the church. Sometimes when you climb up this ladder here in a moment, you can get hit by the guys at the top of it. That's why I shot that guy. And he throws stuff at you, so wanted to get him out of the way, and then I wanted to go in that room and grab the viper. Like that guy right there can definitely hit you when you're coming up the ladder. And I would recommend shooting these guys on this walkway because you don't want to take a hit like that. But it's okay. I have the yellow herb. I'm trying to extend the health bar, so it's okay to heal sometimes. Of course, I suppose if you wanted to, you could use a combination green herb, yellow herb at any time, even when you have full health, and I believe that will also increase your health bar, but then you'd kind of be wasting a green herb that you could use to heal at some point. But yeah, this is obviously not a no damage run or anything like that. I mean, I take a fair bit of damage throughout the run. Not the greatest player in the world. I don't avoid everything. I try to, but I get hit here and there. And I figure that most people watching this are probably watching it because they want some help with professional. They're going to take some damage. So you can see that you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be smart about it. Don't take too many hits. Be fairly accurate with the hand cannon. You don't have to be a marksman or anything, but you can't miss, 70% of your shots. Just be fairly accurate. You'll kill most enemies in one shot. Now, moments ago, I just made my first save there at that merchant. I used to save right before the Delago fish monster fight, but the reason that I saved there before going in the fish farm here is because to save before the Delago fight, that means I'd have to go back to the merchant after the fish farm, and that would take longer, so I didn't do that. But, the Delago fight on professional is pretty hard for a lot of people, so you probably want to save right before it. And this fish farm is pretty easy. You just kind of have to run through it for the most part. It's not, you know, obviously you don't want to get hit by anything, but it's pretty easy to get through without getting hit. Unfortunately, I think in a minute here I do get hit. Yeah, because they have a long reach, those enemies. It doesn't look like they can hit you, and they still do. But I'll just use another yellow herb, and I'm going to kill that viper there, and that's the third one. That's the third viper. That's all you need. You sell the 3 of those to complete a merchant request. But yeah, I took that little hit there, and aside from that, I'm just running through here, and it's pretty easy to do with the hand cannon. Certainly, there's a few enemies in your way, just blow them away. And then save, go back to the merchant, and make your first save. Again, I already made my save before entering here. But that's how I would recommend you start off with your saving. If you don't want to save at the dynamite, or if you want to save before the dynamite valley, do that. If you think that you're afraid of dying there, so you don't have to repeat chapter 1 again if you happen to die. But if you don't want to save before the dynamite valley, then don't, and then wait until you get right to this point. I'm gonna grab this yellow herb here real quick, and save right here before you interact with the boat and start this boss fight. So just try to master the first 3 chapters. They're not very difficult. Once you get past that opening village sequence that everyone believes is so terribly difficult, once you get past that, the rest of these first 3 chapters are pretty easy. So you can master them, and you can use your first save before this boss fight, and then you'll leave yourself a few extra saves to use later in the run, because there definitely are some areas later that you're almost certainly going to want to save before you play them. And you know, there are 16 chapters, and you have 15 manual saves. So you know, one might say that that's roughly 1 save per chapter. But if you use them wisely and you master certain chapters, then you can use more than 1 save in some chapters, because some chapters have a couple of different difficult areas. And there's not much to this boss fight. I mean, there's a kind of a pattern with it that is pretty easy to learn. And to throw the harpoon, the way I do it, I'm not sure if this is the way everyone does it, but I hold L1 and hold R2, and then when I'm ready to throw the harpoon, I release L1, and then I hold it back down. And doing that, Leon will immediately pick up a harpoon every time after he throws it. And so it's hold R1, hold hold L1, hold R2, release L1 when you're ready to throw, and then start holding L1 again so that he picks up another one. And just try to hit Delago as many times as you can. Just try to be accurate with the harpoon. Sometimes it's easier than others to hit him. Like when he's far away, it's harder to be accurate. You probably want to wear headphones during this fight if you don't normally wear headphones, because that right there, where when Leon says "Where'd you go?" you won't really know where he's going, where he's coming from, if you don't have headphones on. You can't really hear it, and he can easily catch you there and start biting on like a harpoon that Leon will put in his mouth, and Leon takes damage, or the boat takes damage. So like if you happen to take damage from that, and then like say you crash into one of these pieces of debris, like maybe twice or something, then you're dead. See that debris there? I'm holding the left stick to the left to stay away from that debris, and that's where a lot of people have trouble with this fight. For whatever reason, they don't realize that you need to steer your way around this debris so not to crash into it, because Delago is going to try to pull you toward it. You just, move the left stick in either direction, left or right, to steer around that debris. And that's the end of chapter 3. Now chapter 4, I would say, is one of the easier chapters in the game. And so I don't save here at all. I don't make my next save until beginning of chapter 5. This right here did not go the way I wanted it to. Normally, I would throw a flash grenade right here to cancel this, the like revealing of this enemy. I'd throw a flash grenade, he would automatically die, and that would be it. But I didn't want to use a flash grenade because I use a lot of them later in the run, and I like to hold on to them if I can. I wish I did use it, but instead I decided just to shoot him, and as you could see, he didn't die. Like, I shot him. I had to actually hit him at least 3 times before he died. He should die in 1 or 2 hits. Like, I think it's delayed sometimes how he takes the damage there, because there's like that sequence of him being revealed. But because he didn't die, I took an unnecessary hit there that I didn't want to, and you saw he put me in danger from that hit, and so he could kill you pretty easily if he gets close like that. So one way to not even worry about it is to throw a flash grenade right when he's being unveiled, and he'll just die instantly. Alright, so we get in the boat and immediately take this left over to here. And this is the only part of the chapter where you really have to deal with any enemies, but it's not very hard. You can just run by most of them. I shoot these guys because when I try to run by him, Leon tends to jump off the bridge there, and you know, I don't want to jump off the bridge, so I shoot those guys, get them out of the way. And this is very easy puzzle, if you will. Just, I mean, you can see which of those round things you have to push down. So now I want to jump off this bridge because there's a yellow herb down here. And then I pick up small resources there because sometimes those can kind of look like gunpowder. I don't want to pick up any small resources, I don't need them. But sometimes they can kind of look like gunpowder, so I picked it up by accident there. Get back in the boat. And now we're going to, so that was where we just were. We picked up the apostate's head. That's what you do that little puzzle for, where you push down the round things. We picked up the apostate's head. Now we're going to pick up the blasphemer's head. First we're going to grab the lunker bass there for another quick merchant request. You could just use that like as a healing item, and it'll also extend Leon's health bar a little bit. I think I sold it as a merchant request to get some spinels. So stop here at this. It's not an island. I don't know what you call this, but whatever it is that these chickens are on, this chicken area. I grabbed some white eggs and a brown egg, but I grabbed the golden egg, the gold egg that you can use later. You could sell it for like 10,000 and it'll complete a merchant request. You could use it and it heals you to full health, but I'm going to equip it later and use it on the Ramon Salazar boss because it takes like 80% of his health, and then finish him off with a hand cannon. There's another one of those. Press down the round things and take the blasphemer's head, and then I grab some rifle ammo from the corner there. And then we head back on the boat. Head back to use the 2 heads and get the key to the church so that we can free Ashley. And in case you're wondering, I have done a professional S+ rank using no bonus items, and it is on my YouTube channel. And I was uploading it as I recorded it, or as I played it and recorded. Like each time I'd finish a chapter, I'd upload that chapter. So it's in like 15 parts or something. It's not a very clean run. It's not very easy to follow. You know, it was when the game first came out. It was in April of 2023. It was maybe my second or third run of the game, so I had a lot less experience. You know, it barely comes in under the 5.5 hours. I think I used all 15 saves. So it's not a great run, and it's not something that really would be useful to someone trying to get a professional S+. So that's another reason I wanted to do this run. So I wanted something just better overall, something a lot faster, a lot cleaner, something that a viewer could follow and it would actually help them complete professional or get a professional S+. Alright, so here we have the giant boss, the El Gigante, or however you pronounce that. Just shoot him several times with the hand cannon and that's it.
That was almost a pancake. Okay, let's get to that church.
Make our way to the church. Alright, so enter the church, pick up the blue dial from over here. There's a small key in the corner to the right. Grab that lever, pull that lever, and I wish I could explain this puzzle, but I don't really know how. I mean, I turn the green dial to the right, I turn the blue dial to the right, and then I turn the red dial to the left. You just have to match up the shapes, for lack of a better explanation. Once you understand what you have to do, it's very easy, like, to understand where you have to turn those dials to. And once you put the blue and the right one or the blue and the green one in the right position, then once you start turning the left one, it'll just automatically complete the puzzle once the red one gets where it's supposed to go. Alright, so that was the end of chapter 4, and we have Ashley with us now. And again, obviously I'm not using Ashley armor, I'm only using the hand cannon as a bonus item. Now you may want to use Ashley armor, a lot of people would. The hand cannon certainly trivializes the whole game, makes it very easy, even on professional. But still, some of the harder parts might be where you have to protect Ashley. So if you have Ashley armor, you don't have to worry about that at all, because she takes no damage. She can't be carried away by enemies. I think there are some situations where technically you can fail the mission because, like, maybe you moved ahead while an enemy was trying to pick her up or something. Maybe you moved too far ahead and it, like, in the game read that as Ashley being carried away, and it, you know, it's game over. You failed the mission. But otherwise, you know, Ashley is pretty much invulnerable to anything. So you don't have to worry about areas like this where you have to run through here and sort of, you know, hope she doesn't get grabbed. You want her as close behind you as she can be when you start running through here, because she could very easily get grabbed there. And when you're running through there, you don't want to hit anything as you're running, or you don't want to run into one of those gravestones or something, because every time you run into something, it slows Ashley down, and she's much more likely to get grabbed.
Deserves payment in
Alright, let's see. Sell that key, sell the Lunker Bass, sell the Vipers.
You're a real professional. Come anytime.
I did that there because I had the Lunker Bass and the Vipers in my inventory, and I wanted to clear some of my inventory, so I sold them then, and that completed those merchant requests. Like, okay, so if you have Ashley armor here, you don't have to kill any of these enemies. You can just run by all of them, and you can pretty much just run all the way to the cabin and not worry about Ashley at all. Like, she'll never get... They might try to grab her once or twice, but as long as you don't go too far ahead while she is grabbed, or they're trying to grab her, then it won't matter. You could be really far away from her, and just keep going, and you'll make it to the cabin, and you won't have to protect her anymore through here, obviously. But I killed the enemies, and she stayed close behind me the whole time. Now that guy right there, he never hits me like that. That was a little bit of a surprise. Kind of came out of nowhere. Alright, so here we go to the cabin. Another area that people think is one of the harder parts of the game. If you don't have the hand cannon, if you don't have any bonus weapons, yeah, it's pretty hard. Like I said, I did a run with no bonus items before, and I barely got through here. But with the hand cannon, it's very easy. You just go to these windows and you try to shoot these guys before they get through the windows. I mean, it's the range from which you shoot them, you're pretty close to them, so pretty easy to hit them. And notice I shot Luis there, like I shot through the enemy and it hit Luis. I think you can shoot him as much as you want and it won't do anything. In the original Resident Evil 4, if you shot him several times, he would get very angry and he would shoot and kill Leon, but in this game I don't believe that shooting him really does anything except make him ask what you're doing. Are you trying to kill him? But he won't do anything about it. Alright, so there's a little cutscene, and then Luis tells Leon, let's go upstairs, come on. You don't have to go upstairs with him. Just stay down here, just kill several more enemies, and then you get the big guy who comes through this window right there with the hammer, or whatever you call that thing. And you can kill him before he comes through the window, and then kill a couple more enemies, and that's it. I should probably mention, obviously I'm not using Ashley armor, and I made my second save at the beginning of Chapter 5 because that's when I started, when I had to protect Ashley for the first time. And this run is meant to be trying to make it clean, trying to make it fast. So if Ashley got grabbed at all, I figured if I had saved there, I could redo that section. And that's why I saved there, because I didn't want to be slowed down by having Ashley with me and her getting grabbed or incapacitated or something. But if you have Ashley armor, then you really don't need to save in Chapter 5 because Ashley can't get grabbed or can't get carried away. And as you saw, the cabin is very easy with the hand cannon, so you really don't need to save it all in Chapter 5 if you have Ashley armor. This area here, I pick up a hand grenade there. This area here, like you could get through here with just using a flash grenade, but but it's kind of dangerous with the enemies throwing fire, and then you have the traps on the ground. You have to protect Ashley through all the enemies that are on the ground. So if you do it correctly, you can just get through there with a flash grenade, but it's safer just to kill them all. It doesn't take very long. I use the third save here because a lot of upcoming things, something can go wrong quite easily.
Sure is quiet.
For example, I'm about to fight the Bella sisters, the chainsaw, the Bella twins, the chainsaw sisters, whatever they're called. Shoot that lock there to open this door, and enter this way. But when you're fighting these chainsaw sisters, if you happen to miss a shot, you notice right there, there was the L1 prompt to block the chainsaw. If you happen to miss a shot, then you're probably going to get that L1 prompt, and you can very easily miss that on professional. And if you don't hit it correctly, then they will kill you with the chainsaw instantly. So it's probably going to only happen if you miss a shot, and it's hard to miss, but you can miss. So if you miss, you can die there, and then so that's one thing that could go wrong, and then you have to get Ashley out of here with all those enemies, and so that's another thing that can go wrong. Like, I kind of got lucky here that enemy was moving very slowly. He could have at some point caught up to Ashley while I was turning the door, turning the crank to open the door, but he never caught up with Ashley. But that's another thing that can go wrong.
You did well back there.
That's why I saved before the Chainsaw Sisters, because there's also coming up here, things can go wrong.
Hurry!
I think that guy will hit you if you don't shoot him, usually. Probably a way to dodge him, but if you just kind of run straight through, he's going to end up hitting you. Shoot him, and shoot the barrel. But these guys specifically can throw things and that will hit Ashley and knock her down. So that's another thing that could have gone wrong. For over 2 years now, I cannot figure out exactly what you have to do to prevent Leon from having to pull Ashley up after him there. There's a way that you can get up there without having to pull Ashley up, because it takes a little more time to do that, but I cannot figure out how to get that consistent every time. But yeah, in that last section, if Ashley gets knocked down, throw a flash grenade so that you can help her up before the enemies get to her. Alright, so here we are, the Chief Mendez fight, the village chief. Didn't go great. He's not the easiest thing to hit with the hand cannon. And I took some hits there. Now, I should have explained this earlier, but the way that I aim the hand cannon to try to be accurate with it, and you can kind of see it here, is I try to put the white dot in the middle of the screen. You can go to display options and turn that on if you don't have it on. But I try to put the dot on my target, what I want to hit with my shot on my target.
I promise.
And then I aim and fire all in one motion. So for example, I'm using a PS5 controller. So aim is L2 and fire is R2. So I put the dot on the target, and then I basically kind of press L2 and R2 at the same time.
All right, Ashley. Luis just
So I aim and fire all in one motion. And that generally keeps the hand cannon pretty accurate. Alright, just cleaning up the inventory a little bit because I want to buy... I bought the flash grenade recipe there, and I bought the larger case, and I want to buy the Stingray rifle. Crafted a couple flash grenades here.
Welcome.
There I bought Stingray rifle, and now I'm going to buy the high power scope, and that's why I was doing the merchant request to make sure I had the spindles to buy that. And now I'm going to fully upgrade the Stingray.
Little bit goes a long way.
But yeah, like I said, if you don't want to spend the money on the exclusive tickets, and you don't have to do that, you don't have to use the first aid spray glitch for the infinite money. You don't have to do any of that if you don't want to. I mean, you can just play through the game, obviously, and collect the treasures and the money and whatever, and try to do it the old-fashioned way. You know, it's obviously up to you. But if you want to go the golden ticket route, or if you want to go the infinite money glitch route with the first aid spray, then you're going to need to do this run the way I am. You're going to need I'm not exactly sure. I don't know, about 1.5 million pesetas, something like that. I fully upgraded the combat. I don't think I mentioned it when I did it at the beginning when I fully upgraded the hand cannon. I don't think I mentioned that I also fully upgraded the combat knife. But I fully upgraded the combat knife, the hand cannon, and the Stingray there. And then I buy like 3 rocket launchers. I buy some case upgrades. And you need about 1.5 million, maybe a little more pesetas to do that. Do those purchases and upgrades I make throughout the game. Alright, so I'm going to shoot that weight thing, that the whatever you call it, the ball on the chain that allows you to release the cannon and raise up the cannon. I shoot that barrel up there to destroy that catapult.
I guess this is their idea of a warm welcome.
Take out some enemies here because I don't want them grabbing Ashley, which I think she does get grabbed here. Yeah, right there. And you saw there was another barrel to destroy another catapult there that I just shot before these 2 enemies. Okay, so use the cannon to destroy these catapults, and you know, you could use it on these enemies if you want, but use it to destroy the catapults and to destroy the door there. And I took kind of the shortcut to the cannon when I shot it through that window, when I shot the weight thing to raise it up through that window, because there's a longer way to get to it. Right next to where the cannon is, you drop down into the, and it takes you into the room with the cannon, and you can release the weight from there.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Alright, so we are entering the castle for the first time.
Look at this place. I mean, it's old, but...
I killed these guys in the interest of being safe, because I tried just sending Ashley up here to open the door, and then I ran across the room to get the yellow herb. By the time I got back, Ashley had come through the door that she opened, and she got herself grabbed. So, right here, like, by the time I got back, she had already come through this door and got herself grabbed by the enemies that I had left alive. So I just killed them there to take that out of the equation.
Be careful. What was that? Do they keep animals down here or something?
So here we meet the first Garrador. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation. That's how I've always said it for over 20 years now. But here we meet the first one, and in case you don't know, they are blind. They figure out where you are based on the noise you make, the shots you fire, if you run around, things like that. I think those chains that are hanging down, if you walk into those, they hear that. But yeah, just shoot him in the back with the hand cannon. Shoot that thing coming out of his back, the plaga, and he dies after a couple shots. We're going to be coming up here to our 4th save, I believe it is. Not yet, but in a
Nothing.
couple minutes here.
You were right about the animals, though. You okay?
Let's see. There is
I'm fine.
a spinel right there. But I didn't pick it up because, again, I'm not collecting any treasures. I'm sorry that I'm not mentioning that all the treasures throughout the game. It's hard to kind of focus on what's on the screen and explain the things that I feel that I need to explain, and also mention where the treasures are. So I'm sorry I haven't really mentioned any of that. All right, so let's see here. So you put the golden sword right there. Put the bloodied sword right there. Put the rusted sword right here, and then the iron sword goes back over here.
Well, it's
And that's very easy puzzle. It almost does it for you. It almost shows you, like, when you go to put the swords in, like, which ones go where. In this room that I just exited, there's another viper in there and a crate in there. So if you didn't pick up like a 3rd viper in the fish farm, you could pick it up in that room. Yeah, shoot these gongs, raise the door
Leon, are you kidding me?
or the gate,
Don't put
whatever.
raw shampoo.
And then
Who does that?
the next save, or at least the next save I use, is coming up right here.
this guy again.
All right, so that was save number 5. A couple minutes ago I said it was going to be save number 4, but that wasn't correct. I actually made save number 4 at the castle gate after I purchased the Stingray rifle.
Leon, they're
But
here.
and I was talking through that, so I didn't mention it at the time. So that was save number 5 there. All right, so here we are in the water hall. Probably one of the harder parts of the game to speed run cleanly. Because you have a lot of archers, you have a lot of enemies on the ground, and then you have a lot of archers in the balconies shooting at you and Ashley. It's hard to get through here without getting hit a lot of times. If you just try to run through like this, certainly you can just kill all the enemies. If you have the hand cannon, it makes it pretty easy. You know, snipe the archers, get rid of them. And it's not that difficult. But if you're just gonna run through like this, might take some hits along the way. I know I do. Alright, so you grab the halo wheel thing, whatever it's called, and put it in there, turn it, and drop the stairs, and come back up here. Hopefully you don't get hit like that. Then you put the wheel in here and turn it, and you can get shot pretty easily by the archers here, or Ashley can get shot, but I got lucky and that didn't happen. She got grabbed, so I threw the flash grenade and cleared out, well, stunned some of those enemies. Shot this archer. I shot the one on the other side on my way downstairs. Get that one out of the way, and then I just took a shot from an arrow there. So turn this thing and raise the platform.
Hidden platform?
A little over the top, don't you think?
Send Ashley up here to raise the other platform. And this is where, if you had Ashley armor, you really wouldn't even need that. I'm going to use the rifle here, but you really wouldn't need it. Because obviously you need to kill all these enemies that are trying to get to Ashley, but if you have armor on her, then when the enemies are closer to her, you can just use the hand cannon on the enemies, and you don't have to worry about accidentally shooting Ashley or missing and allowing her to get grabbed. But
Be careful.
because I don't have armor, I'm using the rifle as well to, make my shots tighter and not worry about hitting her. And you'll see what I mean in a moment. It's another arrow that hit me. It's really annoying. Could have died here, and if I got hit by another arrow, probably. That didn't heal. I was considering just kind of redoing that, just dying and redoing it, but I survived and decided to keep going. Yeah, so here I'm using the rifle on these enemies that got closer to Ashley because, you know, at that point it's easy to miss them and easy to hit her by accident.
Okay, get back here.
Alright, so she's done, and make our way to Chapter 8, which I think Chapter 8 is a very easy chapter, just a whole lot of running for the most part. I don't save it all in Chapter 8. And that's another example, like I was talking about earlier, you know, you can try to master certain chapters so you don't have to save in them. Give yourself maybe an extra save here or there for the chapters that you think are going to be hard, where you might need to save more than once. And actually here in Chapter 7 I saved twice, technically. I saved at the beginning at the gate, castle gate, and then just before the water hall there. Because when you're protecting Ashley, things can easily go wrong. Alright, here we are, beginning of Chapter 8. Over to the left at the fountain, there's a rhinoceros beetle. You want to pick that up behind the fountain. Here I shot down the scratched emerald for the merchant request. That's the only thing that you could, I guess, say is a treasure that I shot down during this run. The only, if you want to call it a treasure, I don't know, but the only one that I intentionally collected. That rhinoceros beetle by the fountain. If you pick that up, it's like hidden in a wall behind the fountain. But if you pick it up, you can sell it for 10,000, or you can use it and extend your health bar if you want.
Sorry to interrupt. What the hell is happening?
So somehow in shooting that barrel, I missed twice. Not sure how I managed that, but I shoot this guy from up here. So instead of running down the stairs and around here, it gives him a chance to get away. And then I try to jump over that railing, and sometimes that just doesn't work the way you want it to in this game, and I take a shot from an arrow. It's kind of annoying. Let's see. There would be a treasure here. I'm not sure. Right up to the right there, hanging from the ceiling, is an alexandrite. I don't know if, can't remember if that's on the expanded treasure map or the regular treasure map. But
Last person I thought I'd run to.
you know, I haven't really pointed out where the treasures are because it's hard to do. I mentioned that earlier when, you know, I'm trying to follow the video and talk about what I'm doing. But there's a treasure right next to Leon, right there, right on his left. It's an elegant clock, I think, in the chest. Let's see, this puzzle is very easy. I could have done it a little faster. I messed it up a little bit, but the way I started is that I always put the right one in first, the square sword that's in black or blue or whatever. I put that one in first because it's already turned in the right direction. And then, I don't know, just match them up from there. Red at the top, red at the left, black on the right, black on the bottom.
Oh, great. Christ.
I really don't like these guys, neither the spider-like creatures or the once they've jumped onto the backs of the other enemies, and then they make those enemies very aggressive, and if they hit you, they just like keep hitting you. They keep swinging. See, I throw a grenade here to knock these guys down, get through here faster. Like I said, this chapter is mostly running, really. can get lucky there and hit both the guy standing coming at you and then the spider on the wall. Grab there. So when you drop down here, you want to duck because of that. Crouch. That guy throws the scythe. Do you call that? So in case you're wondering, the Beyond RPD costume that I have him wearing, you probably know this, but in order to unlock that, you need to complete the mercenaries, complete each stage with each character. So there are 8 characters, 4 stages, with either an S plus rank or an S plus plus rank. And that will unlock the costume. That's 32 total S plus or S plus plus ranks that you need to unlock that costume.
Yes. Cannon. Hope it works.
Alright, so we have another cannon here that we have to release. So knock down the weights for it. And you know, that guy that threw that hatchet or whatever, I don't know that I ever got hit by that before. I don't know that he ever threw that at me before like that. Like a lot of times they'll drop down the ladder before you even climb up it. So I'm pretty surprised to get hit by that. Alright, so shoot this guy. And if you want to, you can shoot these guys in front of the door. Clear them out before you shoot the door.
Alright. Open for traffic. Sorry. I've had my fill of you guys.
Yeah, not a whole lot to that chapter. Just run through it and probably don't save there. And then chapter 9 here is also pretty easy, in my opinion. At least the first like 75% of it. And the Ashley section is pretty easy as well, but you die in one hit there if you make a mistake. So, but I save here because, again, when you're protecting Ashley, you know, things can go wrong. And that was save number 6 out of 10 that I'm using.
Hey, look! The flag's been lowered.
This maze, I remember the first time I played it, my first playthrough of the game was on hardcore, and I did it a number of times. It was really confusing to me, this maze layout, but eventually, you know, from trying to learn it all those times, I eventually was able to understand how to get through it in what I assume is the most efficient way possible, the most efficient path or route. I mean, I don't think there can be really any other turns you could take that would make it faster. Certainly you could just run through it instead of stopping to shoot some of these dogs like I am. And obviously that would be faster, but I don't think there's any like shortcuts you could take. Alright, so pull the second lever, lower the second flag, open this door, unlock this door and open it. Yeah, I like to throw a grenade here to try to make sure I don't have to deal with all 3 of those dogs at the same time. And there's a flash grenade in there. And I think you'll see here for the rest of this chapter that I start like knifing the crates and the bases a little bit because I'm searching for a heavy grenade, hoping to find a heavy grenade, and also rifle ammo. If I find rifle ammo, I want to pick that up
Be
too.
careful.
And like I said earlier, I want large resources and gunpowder as well for the crafting of the flash grenades and heavy grenades. But yeah, I didn't smash a lot of crates or vases earlier in the run because you can't get heavy grenades yet, but that's why I'm doing it now. Alright, so to get through this part without without too much trouble, you want to shoot these first 3 guys, kill these first 3 guys before they get too far away, where then you'll have to
Where are you going?
kind of either run toward them or like shoot them through the fence once they get to Ashley, because Ashley won't join you until those 3 guys are dead.
Ballroom must be this way.
So you have to kill them before you can run up the stairs and go through the door.
Look, there's a statue up there.
So really easy puzzle here. If you want to even call it a puzzle, just tell Ashley to sit there.
Here? No.
And then Leon sits here, you ring the bells and release the serpent head.
Leon!
Looks like we figured it out.
And then we go to get the goat head. So I was going to throw a flash grenade here, but I prefer to save those. But I happened to just pick up a heavy grenade at that vase there, or a hand grenade I should say. So I threw the hand grenade at him to save the flash grenade, but you could use whatever you want. And you throw that grenade to prevent him from pulling that lever and lowering that bridge, slowing you down. We take the goat head.
Leon, watch out!
Just kind of clear a little path there for Ashley. And again, I'm looking for a heavy grenade in these cabinets. There were large resources there that I meant to pick up, but I didn't.
Hey,
Gunpowder there, green herb there.
Bet you could use it like a bulletproof vest.
Little old-fashioned for my taste.
Too.
Pick up the lion head, and then just kill these guys who go down very easily with the hand cannon.
Come on, you can't be serious.
There's a flash grenade.
Hey, are you okay?
You can, I didn't pick them up, but you see there are
Nighty-night.
obviously spindles that are dropped by the knights.
Hey,
You can get like, I don't know, what is it, 7 of them maybe in this room. I don't know if it's that many, like if all of them drop one or not, but I didn't need them, so I didn't pick them up.
you don't think they're gonna move, do you?
I really wasted a lot of time knifing those vases throughout this chapter. You don't need to find a heavy grenade. I just prefer to find one because, otherwise I'm going to end up crafting like 5 of them. That, kind of uses a lot of resources, but I really always have enough anyway, so. Alright, so you could save here. I would save here probably if you're not comfortable with this, because Ashley can die. Like before you put the lion head, the goat head, the serpent head and the statue. Save before that, because certainly Ashley can get killed in one hit, and it's not. I mean, it's easy to avoid getting hit if you know what you're doing. But which is why I didn't save. 'Cause I know how to get through this without getting hit. But if you're afraid of that, certainly save there. You have the extra saves to work with. Turn that clock to 7 o'clock. The only part that you have to worry about her getting hit is this one coming here, like once you go down the elevator and into the basement area. Excuse me, but there's also there's also another section to another area to this section, the Ashley section, that I'm like skipping, where you can pick up several treasures and a gun, but that would be, you know, more chances for her to get hit, but I'm bypassing those. Alright, so obviously you pull these chains and ring these gongs, but yeah, you can get hit here by these knights if you're not careful, so just use the lantern on them to freeze them.
The heck?
And we have another very simple puzzle here. Let's go to the back, replace the lantern, go to Ashley's right, replace the lantern, go to the other side and place the lantern, and that's it.
No, no, don't go out. Again. I've had enough of this.
Let's see, so this right here, I'm not fond of these kind of things, like this slow crouched walking. I don't like it really in like any kind of game. I just like to play. I like the game to flow, to move. You know, survival horror is great, action's great, but I like to be moving, and actually feel like I'm doing something. And this game is pretty good about that. I mean, there's not a lot of areas where you feel like you're doing nothing. Few elevators like this where you're just standing there. Not nearly as bad as Resident Evil Village was when it came to elevators, because there were a number of them and they were very long. Let's see, run right at this guy and then go to your right so he doesn't hit you when he swings. But yeah, a lot of recent Resident Evil games have these very long sections where they're just kind of on rails, and you're going through the motions. You're not really, there's no real gameplay to it. And this is a little bit like that as Ashley, because all you're really doing is running. But you do have to worry about dying if you're not careful here. But at the end of this game, at the end of chapter 15, when you carry Ashley, that is over 2 minutes of just very slow walking by Leon, and it's one of the most boring things. And every time I play this game, I dread getting to that section. But there are a lot of things like that in Resident Evil 7 Village, the beginning of Resident Evil 3 Remake.
Welcome. I've got
Alright, so
something new for you, man. That's good work if I do.
here we are at the beginning of chapter 10. I turned back and came back to the merchant to get the case upgrade and the heavy grenade recipe, and then to save. Certainly this is a chapter that you would probably want to save at the beginning of. Because you have the bugs, the Novistadors, and they're very annoying. to deal with.
Fucking
Then you also have the double Garrador room, 2 Garradors. One of them's armored. You have the Vertigo fight. So there's a lot of ways that your run can be ruined in Chapter 10. Excuse me, I have a bit of a cold. Yeah, so here's a little trick that I learned in the original Resident Evil 4, in the section where you have to deal with the Novistadors, which is different than this section in this remake, but still, this trick worked there, and it kind of works here. You look away from them. In this case, I'm looking at the floor instead of looking straight ahead. But if you don't look at them, they are less likely to attack you. You see, they are attacking me, and they are hitting me, but if you're looking right at them, they'd probably be much more likely to hit you. Or if you're looking straight ahead. Now, when you drop down here, I mean, I always seem to get hit here, and that time I got hit immediately. I don't think there's always a camouflaged one there like that that's going to hit you, but there happened to be that time. But I threw a flash grenade because flash grenades will knock these guys, will incapacitate these guys for several moments. And it has a pretty wide range. Knocks several of them down at once. And then I throw another right there before the ladder, but of course I got hit as I was trying to climb the ladder. But yeah, I see the flash grenade even knock down that one up here. And this is a part of the game, this whole room, that a lot of people don't like, especially on professional. But it went okay there. Certainly, I would love to get through every room without taking a hit, but that, as you can see, just does not happen for me. Alright, so shoot down these weights. I don't know what you call those. I call them weights because they're, I don't know, they're counterweights, right? Is that what they're called? And then here you have the double Garrador room. There's a flash grenade on the table. Shoot these guys. And then you wait for the Garradors. You should probably shoot this last one here on the right, but I didn't. You wait for the Garradors to be released from the wall, shoot the bell, and they will run toward it. But for whatever reason, that armored one didn't run toward the bell. He ran toward me, and then he went back to the bell. I don't know what happened there exactly, but I threw a heavy grenade, and then try to take out the armored one first because he's more difficult. I don't want to, have him around longer. I think that if you throw 2 heavy grenades there, it'll obviously be a lot easier to take them down when you shoot them. Not exactly sure like how many shots it would take, but I know that if you throw one heavy grenade, you're going to have to hit them multiple times with the hand cannon, which is what I did. And I don't know what it is, but every time I'm down here, like right at the beginning of this part, I get turned around. I know where to go. I know that you have to kind of start off to your left, but for some reason I always like get turned around, start running into the spikes. I guess because it's so dark. I don't know.
Talk about sticking the landing.
Here comes some more crouched walking that I'm not a fan of. And you have some more of the bugs in the water. Try to shoot them before they hit you. that's all of them. I was a little bit low on health, so I just picked the black bass and healed with it. Right to Leon's right here is the elegant crown treasure that you can use. You can enter, or you can insert the gemstones into the. There's a yellow herb. But you insert the gemstones into the elegant crown. If you do it the right way, you can insert the correct gemstones. You can sell it for 100,000, or I think up to 108,000. I think maybe it's like if you do. I don't know if it's 5 of the same color, or maybe 3 of one color and 2 of another, or something. We'll make it worth 108,000. But I just do 5 different colors for 100,000. But again, I'm not picking up any treasures, so in this run. So, all right, let's see. I stopped here to repair the body armor. Because we have the Verdugo fight here. Which for a lot of people is probably going to be a lot easier with the Chicago Sweeper than the hand cannon. Then you could use a rocket launcher on him. A lot of people do that. I have a reason that I don't use a rocket launcher on him. I'll get to that. The Chicago Sweeper, well, Vertigo, when you try to freeze him with the liquid nitrogen, you press the buttons on the walls, and the liquid nitrogen will come down from the ceiling and freeze him. But when he's unfrozen, when he's frozen, that's when you can damage him. That's when your weapons are more effective on him. But when he's unfrozen, his body is like armored, and the only thing that's really exposed is his head. So you have to shoot him in the head. That's not really easy with the hand cannon. So if you're using the Chicago Sweeper, you can just fire rapidly, continuously, and if some of those shots are going to hit him in the head, and every time he gets hit in the head, it like knocks him back a little bit, it stuns him, and he won't be able to attack or hit you. But you can kill him faster with the hand cannon if you are accurate with the hand cannon. If you are hitting him in the head consistently with the hand cannon, because while the Chicago Sweeper will be easier to knock him back, it won't kill him as fast.
What's your move?
I don't think it was really fair that he was able to hit me when he jumped out of there, but whatever. And then he was able to hit me after I got up. Anyway, but here's another liquid nitrogen thing. And there's another one over by the room with the elevator that you're waiting to come to this floor, but I don't use that one. I just stand here and try to shoot him in the head with the hand cannon. I was able to hit him enough times that he died pretty quickly.
Finally, some peace and quiet. My condolences to your master.
So, yeah, there's the other liquid nitrogen thing there if you want to use that one. So yeah, that'll be the end. Chapter 10. Let's see. I believe we've used 6 saves, and I'm going to make the 7th one near the beginning of chapter 12. Just a minute into chapter 12.
Help me, though.
I don't recommend that you do that. I don't recommend that you go so long between saving. Like you probably want to save at some point here in chapter 11. Maybe even right here, because it's while this next part is not very hard per se. You have to fight the 2 giants. And they certainly do a lot of damage very quickly. You could die, so maybe you want to save there. Notice I bought a rocket launcher, And this is why I didn't use the rocket launcher on Verdugo,
Answer my question.
because craft a couple of heavy grenades here. But I bought the rocket launcher here so that I could
What are you
blow up this wall, which normally you would go off to the area to the right, where you have a number of enemies and 2 chainsaw enemies, and you pick up the dynamite and use that to blow up the wall. But in the interest of skipping that area, I obviously blew it up with the rocket launcher. Alright, so you shoot this guy 5 times with the hand cannon, and just like he was earlier in the game, very easy to take down. This one clearly is harder because his body is armored, but his face and mouth area are exposed, so you can shoot those. And I don't know if there's really an effective way to shoot at him and be able to dodge those attacks. You kind of just have to stand there and wait for the hand cannon to finish firing, and then generally take a hit when he slams down like that. But that's okay. That's why I got plenty of healing items throughout the game. And you know, you might not be able to hit him enough to kill him like that. You might have to wait for Luis to go grab the dynamite and put it on his back, and then Leon shoots the dynamite and knocks him down. You can either kill him from there, like shoot him from there, or you can drop him through the hole in the middle of the floor into the lava pit. But you know, my goal was to kill him before Luis went to get the dynamite, and that worked out.
Well, that was a pain.
They're keeping those things cooped up
See,
tight.
green herb there.
The underground here is sacred to them. See, this is where they discovered Las Plagas, preserved inside ancient deposits of amber.
Alright, so this next section of the game, the minecart,
We ride this thing.
I find this pretty easy. I mean, I never really had a problem with it on any difficulty, but for some reason people think that this is so hard on professional.
Give us a push, Central.
Who are you calling?
And they use the gas mask, which I think, I guess it gives you aim assist. I don't know, because aim assist is turned off by default on professional. I don't use aim assist in Resident Evil games because,
Oh, by the way,
I don't know, it makes me aim somewhere I don't want to, like a part of the target where I don't want to shoot at. So I can't get used to aim assist in these games. So maybe that's why I don't feel the need for the gas mask, because I wouldn't use aim assist anyway. Now I was a little bit nervous though going through the minecart here this time, so I did miss some shots because it had been quite a while since I saved, so I was worried I could make a mistake, and I actually did make what I thought was going to be a really bad mistake here in a moment. Like I'm missing a lot more shots than I normally would, and then I decided to reload, and I totally forgot that those boards were going to be there. I've never crashed into the boards before, so I didn't even know what happens. I thought you just die on professional if you crash into something. But as you can see, it did very little damage to the cart. But yeah, I mean, like I said, some people find this very difficult. If you happen to think that this is a tough thing for you, this minecart area, then there's a typewriter right before the first minecart, so you can save there. And then after you get off the first minecart, there's another typewriter before you go on the second one. So, you know, I mean, don't use both of them. Don't save twice. But if you're worried about this, save either right before it or right in the middle of it. But I would say that this is another part of this game where there's not a whole lot of gameplay. I mean, you're literally on rails here, and it just feels very long on repeat playthroughs. All this stuff is great the first time through, But when you play these games as much as I do, and you have to sit through
Things are just getting
all of these things that feel like unskippable cutscenes, which in Resident Evil 7, for example, there's that other typewriter I mentioned before, but in Resident Evil 7, for example, you know, all of the cutscenes except like one, and then the ones towards the credits, all of those are unskippable, and it's kind of ridiculous for people who want to play the game multiple times that the cutscenes would be unskippable. That guy who just threw the thing and hit me before I went up the stairs, I don't know if I dodged that wrong or what, but it's another example of he never hits me. That's happened a few times in this run, and it really disappoints me because I wanted this run to be very clean, but I took a lot of hits that normally I wouldn't take, and I don't know if it's my fault um, or there's just like some kind of randomness to it, but you know, it can show you that some of the things that I thought were consistent might not be, and you know, don't do what I do. Just maybe shoot those guys instead of trying to dodge them because I might not always know the best way to dodge them. Yeah. Well, you know, just keep shooting what they put in front of us here. Just not, you know, try to find things to talk about because, again, like you can see what's on the screen. You know what you have to do. It's not like me telling you what I'm doing is really going to help. Let's see that barrel up there on that cart. I certainly always like to hit that if I can. It just feels better when you do. Didn't hit it there, unfortunately. I don't think it does anything at all if you hit it, except maybe I think it might make it so Dr. Salvador, the chainsaw guy here, that he dies more easily. He goes down faster, but I'm not positive. That could just be my imagination. But I just feel like when I have hit that, the times that I have hit that he has died faster. I decided to just stop shooting at those guys because it's not like I was going to die here, so I didn't really care if they hit the cart with their arrows. And then I just decided to unload here. Hope that I could kill him, and I did. Okay, so we are going to encounter more Novistadors here. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of them down here, and I just kind of, for the most part, take out the ones that are camouflaged and in the way. Another yellow orb, my favorite. I think there's one camouflaged on this wall. And there's one right here. And then there are a lot of them in here, so let's throw a flash grenade. And there's a merchant right to the right there. If you need anything, if you want to upgrade your armor or you know, repair your armor before you fight Krauser.
Next.
I don't know if there's any way to make Luis come to the elevator faster. It takes quite a while to get here. But I should probably look into that, see if there's anything I can do on my way to the elevator that will prevent him from getting there so slowly. As soon as this elevator door closes, you can skip the cutscene. And then you have the Krauser knife fight. So I keep the combat knife throughout the game. I like it the best. You could use the primal knife if you have it unlocked for, you know, destroying all of the little block, the castle things, castellans, whatever they are. But for destroying all 16 of those, you get the primal knife. But I'm not using the primal knife because this is the only bonus weapon I'm using is the hand cannon. So that's one reason I'm not using the primal knife. The other one is because when you upgrade the combat knife fully, it stabs faster than the other knives. Now, if you have the fighting knife, which I wouldn't have here because it's a new game, and you don't get that till chapter 14. But if you have the fighting knife, I believe that would kill Krauser a lot, or at least end that fight with Krauser a lot faster, because the fighting knife does a lot more damage. And for the record, if you don't know, it's better to use the knife to stab with the knife, holding L1 and pressing R2 instead of just pressing R2 and like swinging the knife. That's what I did with Krauser there. If you didn't notice, I was stabbing him the whole time. Hold L1, press R2.
So you aren't heartless after all. I guess I should be thankful.
Alright, so we're going to make our next save,
I've got some new
which I believe is save 8 out of 10. And the reason I'm going to save, right after I get off this thing here, the reason I'm going to save here is because of the scaffolding, toward the end of chapter 12, the scaffolding bridge that can break, that will break if you run over it, and you will fall and die. So I'm not going to run over it, but I'm going to try to kind of jog over it a little bit instead of just walk over it. So I save here just in case I could die there. Alright, so here we are. We're entering the clock tower in chapter 12. And we are going to shoot all these enemies that are in our way. Going up the stairs. You could try to run around them to the right. I mean, odds are you'll probably get hit. Shoot that barrel in the back of the head to blow up the statue so the fire won't be in your way. I try to make sure that I kill all these guys because I left that one alive, but the boulder, the boulder that comes down the stairs can crush you, and if there's an enemy around, they can hit you and slow you down and make you get hit by the boulder, so good to take them out. Alright, so hit the lever, go on the lift, hit this lever, switch, whatever. And we have another one of these long sequences where you're just kind of standing around on an elevator, but at least in this one you get to shoot things. The shotguns are useful here, I suppose. You might not kill an enemy or always kill the enemy, but if they get on the lift, you can shoot them off the lift with the shotgun. But, you know, using the hand cannon here, it's certainly easier just to kill them. And this is one of the areas of the game where people might say that the hand cannon isn't accurate because you're shooting it from a longer range. But it's accurate enough. It's not like you're really ever going to be in danger, dying or anything. Okay, so this part here is why I made my most recent save where I did, because I can die here if I don't move across this bridge correctly. The easiest way to do it is just to walk. Don't try to run at all. And just walking, the bridge will never break. But if you run just a little bit too long, the bridge will break and you'll fall through and die. Alright, so here we have the Salazar boss. And I equip the gold egg. And you want to aim a little bit to the right in order to hit him with the gold egg, and then that'll take most of his health, and you just shoot him 4 times with the hand cannon, he's dead.
Ashley.
Now we have another nice long elevator here. Well, while we have some downtime here, I'd just like to thank everyone for tuning in to this run. Hopefully you're still here after,
Krauser,
I don't know, I guess,
where do you think you're taking
what, maybe an hour and 45 minutes so far. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it's enjoyable. I hope it's helpful to those who might be using it as a guide to help them get the professional S+ rank.
Perfect.
And if,
After all.
as we come to the end of chapter 12 here, if by the chance you should need any help, any additional help with anything in this game or other Resident Evil games, you could feel free to contact me directly and I can help you. Just email me at johnrdavis2020@gmail.com. That's JOHNRDAVIS2020@gmail.com. Send me an email, tell me what you're struggling with, and I can personally assist you. Okay, so we're going to press the button on the turret there to make it turn out of the way so it doesn't shoot us. And press the button on this turret.
Damn it.
And then we get spotted there. So the large enemy with the Gatling gun or whatever, and then he appears, and then we take out him and that archer there, and hit this turret. And if I recall, things didn't go as planned right here, because that guy was standing right there and hit me. There's usually not anyone there to do that. And then I tried to kill this guy, but he turned into that, you know, the plaga came out of his head and he turned into that kind of enemy, and the other one was right there, and it was really a mess. So I had to throw this flash grenade to kill them, get out of there. Normally I don't really have any problems with there being enemies there like that when I try to exit that area, but they really were in the way that time. You need a yellow herb right through that window. Climb through that window. There's a yellow herb somewhere around there. Like if you're trying to collect them all. Also a treasure. I think the golden links or whatever it's called. It's somewhere back there, but you know I don't need another yellow herb right now. I'm not collecting any treasures, so. And then there's another elegant crown. If you go down to the right here, past these enemies, it's another elegant crown treasure. It's also a clockwork castellan, but I haven't been pointing out where those are throughout the game, so sorry if you were expecting that. So that would be the third and final elegant crown. I did not mention there is one more. I mentioned the one on the way to the Verdugo fight, but there is one more that I didn't mention, and I believe that one is on the expanded treasure map. Like, it wouldn't be available unless you have purchased the expanded treasure map and have it installed. That one is when you are when you're at the merchant in chapter 9. There's a door that I didn't go through, and there's a gondola ride that takes you back to the start of the castle, like the first room of the castle. And if you get on that gondola, the elegant crown will be on the other end of the ride. Yeah, you can just run all the way through here, run past those enemies. And then you have this little thing from the original Resident Evil 4 where the guy comes out of the refrigerator or whatever it is, and you can shoot him or you can let him grab you. It doesn't matter, he doesn't damage you. Just buying the larger case, buying some larger resources in case I need him, a yellow herb, some gunpowder. Of course, I upgraded or I repaired the body armor. And there you see we meet the regenerator for the first time in a moment. Switch the power here, or turn the power on, I guess. I don't know. Now, at this puzzle, press X 3 times, then right once, X 2 times, right once, X 2 times, right once, X. And get the level 1 key card. Level 1 key card.
What the fuck are you?
Then you meet the regenerator. Switch the power. Just trying to shoot him to back him off instead of trying to kill him right now. Waste time. Come over here to the freezer and use the key card. Then you need to overwrite the key card. And you get another regenerator here.
Shit, again?
Ouch. Yeah, you can shoot off their legs so that it'll be harder for them to hit you. It's easier to run around them when they're jumping around on the ground like that. Unfortunate that I missed there. Use the key card, open this door. Some gunpowder. This behind the glass in this cabinet here. Kind of just wasting time here because I don't really need this yellow herb or this gunpowder here, but I pick them up anyway. Flash grenade there. Rifle ammo. More rifle ammo. Hand grenade. And then you have the biosensor scope here that you can put on the rifle, and like it's an infrared scope that lets you, I mean, you probably know this, but I'll just explain it anyway, that lets you see the plagas inside the parasites inside the regenerators. I missed several times there. I went back to the hand cannon and took this hit. It's too bad. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of room for improvement in this run. Take a lot of hits I don't need to. Waste a lot of time I don't need to. Miss a lot of shots I don't need to. Sure, it could be like 5 or 10 minutes faster with a lot less damage. Okay, so you use a biosensor scope so you can see which regenerator has the wrench in their body. Then you kill that one, use the wrench on the keycard overwrite thing and overwrite the keycard. And deal with these enemies while you're waiting for it to overwrite. There's an enemy that has dynamite that will throw dynamite there, and certainly dynamite can kill you quickly. It can also blow up the incubation tubes or whatever that the regenerators are in. It can break the glass and release the other regenerators in the room. So you want to take out the dynamite guy as fast as you can. And then once the keycard's done overwriting, grab it, use it on the door. Use it on this door, and you'll be reunited with Ashley here at the end of chapter 13. Moving on to chapter 14.
You got it?
Duh.
Obviously send Ashley up through this
To open from the other side.
hole in the wall. She will unlock the door. Unbar the door.
I'm pretty much a master of unlocking.
You could save right there if you want to. I'm not going to. I'm going to save in a couple minutes here. And again, I don't really recommend going as long as I have without saving if you're trying to do this for the first time. I mean, because I went through pretty much all of chapter 12, all of 13, and now through a little bit of 14 without saving. You probably want to save at some point during chapter 13, or maybe you want to save before Salazar, just in case you miss with the egg. So yeah, have Ashley hold the lever so you can go through that other door, then come back around through here, and then the enemies will go after her. Kill them. Let her get grabbed, and then this guy will drop down with her, and you could just knife him.
Over here.
That.
Twisty son of a bitch.
I don't know why, but I've always used a flash grenade right here. It's kind of wasteful because I mean there's 3 enemies and they don't really present a problem when you have a hand cannon, but I use a flash grenade there just out of habit. Alright, so I make my 9th save right there. And now this part coming up,
Smells pretty bad.
making this video has inspired me, or did inspire me to
Before this would have killed me.
finally come up with an efficient way to get through this. It took me now almost 3 years before I could figure out how to get through these 2 rooms
Yeah, okay.
unprofessional cleanly. So here you want to make sure that Ashley is as close to you as possible before you start moving toward the
Get back.
regenerator, or the Iron Maiden if you want to call it. That's like the stronger regenerator. But make sure Ashley's really close behind you, and then run down that little hallway that the regenerator drops down into.
Leave it to me. I'm actually pretty good at this stuff.
Stay to the right side of it, and then go to the right switch or button or whatever. And hopefully Ashley gets to the other one quickly enough, and you can press the button before and unlock the door before the regenerator gets to you. Sometimes you might get the button pressed and get the door open, and he might hit you like right after you're done. But the idea is hopefully to get it before he knocks you down. Alright, so when you come back through here, this is what really,
Ashley.
I can never figure out a good way to do this. But I got the rifle, and just shoot them. That's it. Just shoot these guys, and you don't even necessarily have to kill them. I mean, it's better to kill them eventually, but just knock them back so they don't grab Ashley. But you have to be quick. Don't waste any time, or else they will get to her before you shoot them, and then she'll release the whatever it is I think she turns, she'll release that, and the bridge will the bridge will release, and if you're on it, you'll fall through it, or you won't be able to cross it if you're on the other side of it, and you'll be stuck there with the regenerator. But if you have Ashley armor there, instead of shooting those guys, if you don't want to, you could throw a hand grenade, and kill them.
Leon!
I think a flash grenade will make her release the thing. You don't want that to happen. But if you don't have Ashley armor, any grenade you throw is going to make her release it, so you need to shoot those guys. Alright, so here, throw 2 heavy grenades at the wall, and then when Ashley swings the wrecking ball toward the wall, it'll just break on the first hit. Like that. And we're about to endure another long elevator here. Have to wait for it to come down, have to wait for it to go back up.
I think you might have found your calling.
I was thinking. We work well together, don't we?
I guess so.
Right? Maybe someday I'll become an agent like
Not a lot to talk about, really.
What do you think? We could protect the US from any and all threats.
I don't know. What's your favorite Resident Evil game? Tell me in the comments.
First, we have to make it out of here.
You're no fun.
Is this a good run? Is it a bad run? Is it good commentary? Is it bad commentary? Tell me in the comments. I want feedback. I want to do better next time. Because even if it is good, and I don't know if it is, but if it is, it's not perfect. I know that. So tell me how I can try to make it. It'll never be perfect, but tell me how I can try to make my next run better. My next commentary better. Okay, so we're making our way now to the Krauser boss fight. Jack Krauser, Leon's old superior. Grab some first aid spray and gunpowder there.
I've got some new items.
And try to clean up the inventory a little bit. Craft the last heavy grenade I'm going to need.
I got something
Um,
new for you.
and buy the rocket launcher to end the Krauser fight quickly.
More interesting if you come back.
Pair the knife and the body armor. Now, right behind Leon, right there, after you drop down, is another rhinoceros beetle. There are 3 total in the game. I mentioned the second one by that fountain in the castle. So I shot Krauser with the rifle, and then shot him with the hand cannon when he came down. Yeah, so when you drop down there, right where that cutscene is, there's a rhinoceros beetle right behind Leon. Again, you could sell it for 10,000, or you can use it to extend your health bar. All right, so turn the wheel and raise that door up.
You remember the fight in the jungle? We barely made it out alive.
Duck under that, and then get behind this crate. The Krauser doesn't rush you and grab you. I mean, he could still rush you if you don't shoot him there. But with the crate in the way, he probably won't be able to grab you.
Ready to die, rookie. I'm no stranger to covert tactics, remember? How could I forget? Shit. I love a good hunt. Still alive, huh? You got lucky.
So coming through this part here,
I admit.
I never liked this part. I always get hit by his
Kept listening to people like you.
explosive arrows. You could shoot him. You could stand back at the beginning of the sniper rifle, but and shoot him and make it go, hit him go away. But it just takes too long.
You passed with flying.
But I was able to get through without getting hit, which is rare for me. I used the rifle here, but I probably shouldn't have. If you just shoot him with the hand cannon, I think it ends this a little faster. Like, he won't throw these flash grenades at you and get behind you. He'll like just kind of run away faster. I think if you shoot him with the hand cannon to start and are accurate with it.
Witness the power.
You've lost it completely.
Now this, I think if you shoot him like twice with the hand cannon, you can knock him back and he won't
So that's your
be able to hit you there. I could be wrong, but I don't know if you can parry that. If there's any real way to avoid getting hit there. And at least I'm professional. Probably unnecessary to shoot him there, but I do that out of habit. And then equip the rocket launcher and climb up for the final fight, which is made very easy by the rocket launcher. You can, I think you can kill yourself there if you're too close to him when you shoot him, and I was pretty close to him, but I don't think it damaged me at all, but usually it will damage you some, I think. That's the end of chapter 14. Okay, so moving on to chapter 15 here. I'm going to make my 10th and final save in a moment. And this is a chapter that you could save more than once, potentially.
Welcome. Got some
Kind of wasted some time here selling these items, like the wrench and the biosensor scope. I didn't really need to do that.
crossing your T's, dotting your
And then I sell the fighting knife. I don't know why I even bothered. Maybe it allowed me to buy the rocket launcher for Sadler a little easier without having to clear my inventory. I don't know, but there I saved. And that's my last save. But I would recommend that probably you don't save there. Because this first part here is pretty easy. Probably don't have to worry too much about dying, but if you're concerned about it, then yeah, save there, I guess. But it's the part that comes up after this that is much harder. And the best way to make sure you don't have to keep redoing like this first area is to get through this, and then right before the last part of this section, like the last area of this section, right before that I would save there, because that's where you have the most potential to die. I don't know, explain what I mean in a minute, like after we get through this little area here. Okay. This right here is also easy. Shoot that barrel to take out the archer. Okay, so here's why I crafted that last heavy grenade to destroy this anti-aircraft turret and kind of skip this sequence where you have to go up to the other turret and shoot the anti-aircraft gun. Just blow it up with a heavy grenade. Yeah, so before you enter here, it would be a really great spot to save. So you can kind of clear that area in front of the big door. You can clear out all the enemies, and then you can go back to the merchant and save. Yeah, it's like backtracking. It takes a few extra minutes, but if you're concerned about dying here and having to redo like the whole first part of this section, then it's good to save right before you enter this area, this room, whatever you call it, for lack of a better term, this room. I don't know. Because there are obviously a ton of enemies here. Now notice before I entered here, I did take out the enemy outside this area with the rocket launcher. I sniped him because he can cause you problems in here. Like, he'll shoot the rocket launcher into here, and that will very quickly kill you if it hits you. The dynamite, a lot of these enemies have dynamite. That'll kill you very quickly. The big enemy with the Gatling gun, he'll kill you very quickly. There's just a whole lot of reason to save right before coming in here. But I didn't do that because I wanted to make the save at the beginning of the chapter, so I didn't have to go back to the merchant and waste time. I don't recall that guy ever coming that far into here before. Alright, so then, unfortunately we're going to lose Mike here. Then you have some more Novistadors. Sometimes you can just run through here, but I think sometimes they might be able to hit you in the back, even if you're just really running correctly. And then you get a couple of those stronger regenerators, the Iron Maidens in here. Like one will drop down right from there if you walk into that bag, so I duck under it. You only need to turn this wheel twice to get under it, under that, or you can turn it up to 4 times, but you don't need to turn it all 4 times. Just take the route that I'm taking, because there's another Iron Maiden in here that'll come out of the bags if you bump into it, but if you take the route I'm taking, you won't bump into it, and you can run through this without dealing with any enemies. You could also save here. This part is not that hard, but weird things happen. You can die here, things can go wrong, and if you did die here, then you'd have to go back and do that last hard part again, with all the enemies and the dynamite and, you know, with the levers you have to pull. I didn't handle this very well because, or let me see here. Oh, yeah, I normally wouldn't get hit by that guy. I'm not really sure why that happened. Maybe it's because I took the hit outside, but normally you can jump through that window and you won't get hit, and then you can run around that barrel and shoot it and take out a couple enemies, but it didn't work out the way I wanted. Hit that turret so it turns and is out of your way. Try not to get unnecessarily hit by that guy. Yeah, so we're coming up to the end here. I have 1 flash grenade left, and there it goes. But yeah, I mentioned earlier the part of the game that I really dread every time I play it, and I've played this game a number of times. I'm not sure what number, but I believe it's in the triple digits. I should probably be better at it, to be honest. I make a lot of mistakes for someone who's played this game as much as I have. But yeah, we'll now carry Ashley for around 2 minutes and walk very slowly while doing so.
Laboratory B. Looks like it's this way.
So, not really much to do here except walk. So again, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. This is a lot of work for me. I'm not a professional. Not a professional speedrunner. I'm not a professional video creator. I have very little experience commentating my videos. I try very hard to make the best videos I can when I make gameplay videos. I hope that they're like easy to follow. I know sometimes they're not. Like I said, I have the no bonus items professional S+ rank run that I did when the game first came out, and that's in 15 parts, and it's not very clean at all, and it barely comes in under 5.5 hours, and I use all 15 saves, so that's not really a great video or a great video series to show you how to get a professional S+ rank. It's just basically me documenting my first time doing it. But but other than that, I mean, I try when I have sort of like a guide video, I try to make it as easy to follow as possible, as you should. But I generally don't commentate them, because a lot of work goes into that, and I don't have a ton of free time to do this stuff. I'm not making any money from it. I'm not getting a lot of views. I'm doing it for my own entertainment and so that I can help others who might need the help. And I just thought that this was a little bit of a unique way to play through the game with the hand cannon as the only bonus weapon, and it's pretty fast. The overall time, obviously not the fastest, but it gives you plenty of time to do the things you want to do, to make mistakes. It gives you 5 saves that you can use however you want. Like I said earlier, you don't need to follow my save pattern if you don't want to. You don't need to follow my save recommendations if you don't want to. But let's say you do, you still have 5 additional saves that I didn't use, and I tried to give you some ideas of where to use those. Like for example, I would not use a save in chapter 16. It was very short. Like if you're going to use a rocket launcher on Sadler, it's very easy. Now, if you weren't going to use a rocket launcher on him, then you might want to save before him because he's very difficult on professional without a rocket launcher.
She's not the type to roll over that easy.
And then you have the jet ski sequence at the end after you defeat Sadler. And if you're not careful, you could crash into something and die. So if you leave yourself with an extra save, if you have like one more save you can use entering chapter 16, then it's not a bad idea to save before Sadler, because one thing you can do here at the Merchant is you can set up your inventory for your next playthrough on New Game Plus. You can set your inventory the way you want it right here and then save it. And that way you have a save there and you can always go back and change it if you need to. And then that way you'll have a save kind of close by the jet ski. So in case you happen to die there, you'll shoot Sadler with the rocket launcher, shoot this target with this weak spot with the hand cannon until Ada throws you the special rocket launcher and you can finish him. And then there's another save opportunity, another typewriter after this, before the jet ski. But if you're going to save in this chapter, it's probably just better to do it before Sadler, because let's say you don't want to use a rocket launcher on him, you don't want to spend the money on a rocket launcher, then you're gonna have a harder time with him. You might die, so it's better to have a save there.
We're not out of here yet.
Thanks.
And yeah, we're almost done. It's been a fun journey.
They're not attacking.
I enjoyed making this run because I don't have a whole lot of reason to play the game. There are specific reasons that I play the game as much as I do. Like I said, I can help you if you need help with anything in this game and other Resident Evil games, but I help a lot of people with this game, and that's why I've played it so much. But for me personally, there's not a whole lot of reason for me to play it anymore, because I've been through it so many times. I've unlocked everything, obviously. So I enjoyed doing this run because it gave me a reason to play it for myself. It's something like a goal to try to achieve. So you notice I do this like backflip here on the jet ski. In order to do that, I'm not sure if this is like what the exact button combination is, but what I do is I hold L2 and hold R2 and hold X and the left stick down. I think something like that. And I think it just depends. It's just random whether or not it like spins the jet ski or it backflips it. But you could, like I said, L2, R2, X, and the left stick down, or you could do the left stick left or right, I think, as well. And that's how you do that. And at least I was able to get through here without taking any damage. I took a lot more damage during the run than I wanted to, but I didn't crash into anything here, and I never slowed down on the jet ski. But yeah, that's it. That's professional S plus rank with primarily the hand cannon, no other bonus weapons or bonus items. 2 hours and 15 minutes, 10 saves. Thank you so much for watching. Again, please let me know if you think there's anything, any way that I can improve this or these kind of videos, do better commentary, whatever. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks, and have a wonderful day.